Weakness that once defeated you will become your testimony. Because when God elevates you, He doesn't just lift your circumstances, He lifts your spirit. Something inside you rises before something outside changes. You begin to think differently. Pray differently. Walk differently. Decide differently. Believe differently. Because you finally realize that the God who called you is the same God who equips you. And what He began in your spirit is about to manifest in your reality. Your obedience is unlocking doors you didn't even know existed. Your surrender is moving mountains that you thought were permanent. Your faithfulness is shifting battles that were meant to break you. And now God is taking you into the next phase, the phase where He turns your pain into power, your tears into testimony, your waiting into wisdom, your struggle into strength, and your obedience into overflow. There were seasons where God allowed you to feel empty, not because He was absent, but because He wanted to become your source. And now that you have learned to depend on Him, He is preparing you for abundance. Not just financial abundance. Not just material abundance. But spiritual abundance, peace that stays. Strength that lasts. Clarity that guides. Wisdom that anchors. Joy that carries you. Purpose that drives you. And presence that fills you. This is not the season of survival, this is the season of overflow. God is about to bless you in ways that make people wonder how you endured. He's about to open doors that reveal why He made you wait. He's about to bring connections that show why He removed certain people. He's about to release opportunities that prove His timing is perfect. You are stepping into a season where what once was broken will be rebuilt stronger. What once was empty will be filled abundantly. What once was delayed will be delivered. What once was unclear will be illuminated. What once was painful will become purposeful. And God says, the glory of the new will be. There comes a point in your journey with God where He doesn't just awaken you, doesn't just strengthen you, doesn't just reshape you, He begins to elevate you. And listen carefully, because part 4 is not just a continuation, it is a divine shift. God is bringing you into a season where everything that once held you back loses its grip, where everything that once intimidated you becomes powerless, where everything that once slowed you down is suddenly beneath your feet. This is the moment where God takes what He rebuilt inside you and begins to release it outwardly into your life. In the book of Haggai, God spoke something powerful: from this moment on, I will bless you. Not after perfection. Not after clarity. Not after success. From the moment they obeyed and stayed committed, God declared a blessing over their future. And that same declaration is being spoken over your life right now. You have obeyed in the struggle. You have obeyed in confusion. You have obeyed when no one understood. You have obeyed when it hurt. You have obeyed when it felt lonely. And heaven has recorded every moment of that obedience. You didn't see results immediately, but God saw faith. You didn't see breakthrough instantly, but God saw perseverance. You didn't see transformation overnight, but God saw surrender. And now He is saying, you have remained faithful, and I am releasing what I promised. But before elevation comes, God deals with something inside you, the fear of stepping forward. Because many people are ready to obey but are afraid to advance. Many pray for breakthrough but hesitate to walk into it. Many say, use me, Lord, but shrink when God opens the door. And today God is breaking that fear. Fear of success. Fear of failure. Fear of judgment. Fear of responsibility. Fear of repeating old mistakes. Fear of stepping into the unknown. Fear of not being worthy. But God says, my spirit remains with you, do not fear. You are not stepping into your next season alone. Heaven. You are not the fears that tried to define you. You are who God says you are, chosen, called, strengthened, and set apart for His glory. And when God begins to rebuild your inner identity, the enemy tries harder to whisper lies. Lies like, you're not enough. You can't change. This won't last. You'll fall again. You're not strong enough. You won't finish what you started. But hear this, those lies are loud because your breakthrough is near. The enemy doesn't fight what God isn't building. The intensity of your battles is the proof of the greatness on your life. You think you're fighting out of weakness, but you're fighting because you are rising. You're fighting because your spirit is waking up. You're fighting because something inside you refuses to go back to who you used to be. You can feel it, you're not the same. You don't pray like you used to. You don't respond like you used to. You don't fear like you used to. You don't settle like you used to. You don't live like you used to. You're growing. You're changing. You're shifting. You're stepping into the version of yourself that God has always seen. And this is where God speaks the same words he spoke in Haggai, "My spirit remains with you, do not fear. Do not fear the process. Do not fear the stretching. Do not fear the unknown. Do not fear the battles. Do not fear the changes. Because where God's spirit remains, fear cannot rule. His spirit remains when you feel strong and when you feel weak. His spirit remains when you understand everything and when you understand nothing. His spirit remains when doors open and when doors close. His spirit remains when you succeed and when you struggle. His spirit remains through the highs and the lows. And because his spirit remains, you will make it. You will overcome. You will rise again. You will not break. You will not fall back. You will not fail. You will not stay stuck in who you used to be. God is refining you like gold, and gold becomes more valuable. There is a moment in every believer's journey where God doesn't just call you to obedience. He calls you to transformation. And that's where you are right now. You've been awakened. You've been strengthened. But now God is reshaping your inner identity so that you can carry what he is preparing to release in your life. Because God doesn't only change your situation, he changes you so that you can walk into that new situation with spiritual authority. And listen closely, because this next part of your journey is not about what is happening around you, it is about what God is doing inside you. When God began speaking through Haggai, he wasn't just rebuilding a temple, he was rebuilding his people. He was aligning their priorities, realigning their hearts, restoring their courage, awakening their spirit, and bringing them back into a posture where blessings could flow again. And right now, God is doing the same thing inside you. There are things God removed not to hurt you but to protect you. There are doors that didn't open because your spirit wasn't ready yet. There are people who left your life because they couldn't go with you into the next season. There are habits that fell apart because God was preparing you for a life of discipline, not distraction. Your identity is being reshaped by divine hands, and sometimes that reshaping feels uncomfortable. God will stretch you. God will challenge you. God will push you out of the limitations you accepted. God will allow situations that awaken the strength you forgot you had. He will allow moments that confront what you believe about yourself. Not to break you, but to reveal the version of you that heaven has always seen. Because God sees a champion where you see weakness. God sees a warrior where you see fear. God sees purpose where you see insecurity. God sees destiny where you see failure. God sees calling where you see unworthiness. And now he is saying, come up higher. See yourself the way I see you. You are not you before you chose me. You may feel uncertain, but he says, my spirit remains among you, do not fear. Listen, fear may whisper, but it cannot win. Doubt may rise, but it cannot rule. Temptation may knock, but it cannot control you. Why? Because when God calls you to build, he also equips you to finish. The enemy wants you to believe you are too late, too broken, too behind, too flawed, but God says, you are exactly who I want. You are right on time. You are carrying something heaven placed inside you. You are not stepping into this season alone. The same God who stirred your spirit is the God who will sustain your spirit. The same God who called you is the God who will carry you. The same God who woke you is the God who will strengthen you. And now, God is calling you into deeper obedience, not the kind that is loud, but the kind that is consistent. Not the kind that lasts for a moment, but the kind that lasts for a lifetime. Because transformation doesn't happen in the giant leaps, it happens in the daily yes. Every morning you say, Lord, I choose you today. Every moment you choose surrender over pride. Every second you choose peace over panic. Every hour you choose prayer over distraction. This is where real strength grows, in the quiet, daily obedience that no one sees. God is preparing you for something greater than what you prayed for. But he cannot bring the next chapter until you let go of the weight of the old one. Some of your delays are not punishment, they are protection. God held certain things back because he needed you to grow before he could give them to you. And now, he says, I am releasing what was withheld. I am opening what was closed. I am rebuilding what was broken. But it requires trust. It requires surrender. It requires letting go of the old version of yourself. The you who settled. The you who feared. The you who doubted, the you who carried guilt. The you who lived small. God is calling you into a bigger version of yourself.